Okay, little update. Like yesterday, my base got raided. I already made a video on it. But later, I found out that apparently they didn't get anything of real value from my base. So they spent a lot of. They had to go through like 6 garage doors. Um, they went through a lot of like floors and stuff, and yeah. And they went to like they got to my TC room, which was in the back. And so I'm recovering that one. That was completely armored, so they had to couldn't just go through the floor and do here, so they really had to go through the armored wall that was here. So yeah, I'm actually quite happy about that, because that was kind of my strategy, of course. So yeah, that should have cost them like oh, I have it's really important when you started doing this. Always make sure that you have a sleeping bag inside, especially if you're going to do it armored, of course. Oh, okay, this I have to wait for a second for that. Let's put this in here. This there. So yeah, and I've put all the double doors, some double doors in. I'm going to recover this armored loot room, so at least my base will be ready for the future to upgrade again, and it will have a lot of its strength back once I have this armored wall up. It wasn't so hard, luckily, to recover the base. Already found an auto turret. There was like a drop here, airdrop, and it had like 50 high qual and like a turret in here. So that gave me some hope to like, oh, let's rebuild this base again. You know, it's not that bad as it looks. So that's what I did, and yeah, I'm just figuring out, thinking about what I could have done better yeah. Did I do anything wrong? You know, apparently they didn't went through all my loot rooms, so they went to the first 2 loot rooms, um, which were like not utilized. So they went through this one. This one had like an armored wall, and like 2 boxes here and 2 boxes there. That kind of was a mistake for me because yeah, and I had like little thing on top of here where you could shoot and stuff. So I ended up having, so they probably thought, oh, so many drop boxes, this must be a major loot room. But I actually never, even the floor was still stone, I never upgraded. Maybe because it was like very low, I don't know, but I never upgraded that, so I haven't. And I went through probably through stone walls to see what's behind. So this was really an upgraded room, and not an unutilized room. And on the other side there was a room which, because they destroyed this floor, were able to go through underneath, and that was also unused. So, and most of my base was unused because I was like raiding on this other side, going to this other server, raiding and having lots of fun there, and I really didn't do much here actually, than just do upkeep on my base and keep it alive. So yeah, that's kind of like and that's kind of what I like when they use so much resources. I mean, this was like a metal floor, and maybe they jackhammered it, but I don't know, because lots of these tiles are gone, and there were tiles. So I think they just blew it up with rockets, I'm pretty sure, because there was so much like collateral damage. Then eventually they started going just through my doors, so because all my doors were gone. You can see here they're still armored. So, and actually these drop boxes were not original drop boxes. So my friend, who also had access to this loot room, he put these drop boxes in there, which hopefully means that whatever was in that loot room, they didn't get. And he was able to save that, and I know that we had like all our rockets, the rockets that he made, he put his stuff in there. So pretty much anything of value was in that room, and he managed to get that out. So yeah, um, so that's actually really good. That so in this TC room, I mean, there was really like you see now, I just had probably had like a small box or something, and there was nothing in value in that box, and All I had was some metal and stone in my TC, and very little high qual, because I was like I said, I wasn't really playing, so I wasn't as rich as I normally am, and so yeah, that's kind of how it went. So to be honest, like to get raided, it was the perfect time to get raided, because did I? Oh, nothing has changed. I still don't have. There's no sleeping bag, guys. Really need a sleeping bag before you can do this. Okay, let's get some cloth, because it's getting annoying. But yeah, so I mean, if you just seen this video for the first time, don't know what this base design is about, just watch my other videos. I will explain there how it works. And I think my main mistake in this base was like there were only 6 garage doors, and also like every loot room was straight into like the walkway. I could have like go 1 or 2 tiles back and put it further away, so they have to do for each loot room they would have to get another well, the main thing is, like, let's say I want to go through this door, right, and there's an armored wall here, and there's a metal floor here, and there's something here. So I start rocketing this door because I want to get through the door. So I will have damage on this wall, I have damage on this, and I have damage on this. So I can damage a lot. Well, probably like I have to choose either damage this side or damage this side, or but I can like hit one corner, and then I will hit like 3 things at once, at least pretty hard. So whenever they were going through my garage doors, which were like hard to get through, they were doing a lot of damage towards my foundations. So maybe either they just kept going for the foundations, or they used jackhammers. I don't know, maybe they had like a few guys that are going with jackhammers, finishing those foundations, seeing if they can get into the loot rooms that way. And so yeah, that's another thing. Like, this loot room is really low, the foundation is really low. This could have probably been a better loot room, but the problem is that this foundation here, I know, did I just put up this foundation? Yeah, I know it's been here for a while now, but ooh, out the door. Yeah, I put this. I could have like made this foundation lower. That would have been. I could have made this in a viable loot room, but now I can't anymore. I mean, the problem is with these high loot rooms is once they go through the foundations, that foundation is exposed. So then either that foundation also needs to be armored like the wall, or yeah, just better just to make them so low that they cannot get underneath it. You know what I mean? So anyway, I'm gonna end this video because I'm making so many videos. Just watch my other videos if you want to know more. And I need to get some cloth and fix that loot room of mine. But basically, so if you've seen the last video about my base getting raided, the main thing for a base is to protect my stuff, so I can go out and store my stuff safely, and that function was it was fully functional, and that although it was raided, it wasn't a raid where I lost the most. I didn't lose any of my my rockets, gunpowder, etc. So the base did do its work pretty well. It saved. Well, it functioned 100%. It saved the loot. The 5 loot rooms, they were like they just didn't have the resources to do all 5. They had to leave 2 of my loot rooms alone. Probably they were hoping maybe that they would get degraded from like having the TC, or maybe after getting the TC they were just like, wow, we've been through like 3 of these loot rooms and they were all like, there was nothing of value, like let's just leave these other 2 loot rooms alone, because the chance that they're so expensive to loot with at least metal or armored, that and we cannot take the risk of them also being empty. So yeah, I guess they just gave up on raiding, which is usually what they do with my bases. So that's like mission accomplished. I mean, when I looked at the base, I like, oh man, it's raided, and I couldn't reach the back half because there was a door there. And for me it was a bit disappointing, because of course you feel you get a bit attached to your base, and because you really like it, and you hate it when it gets raided, of course, and you don't want to lose your base. And but if just looking back at this base, like I'm like, I have the base is now fully back in under my control, so I'm not going to lose this base. It has function to what it was supposed to function, that is to protect the loot. It did protect the loot, and yeah, so I can be very happy and satisfied about this base in that way. So yeah, I mean, mission accomplished. So although technically it is a raided base, it's not. I mean, I call it raided when it's a successful raid, and they didn't succeed in getting like the loot that they were going after, like the good loot. So because all they went through is they got a TC with like nothing, like just some metal mats, and no, there was no gunpowder, nothing of value, no weapons, no, not even extra high qual. Like all the high qual that was in there, there was not enough for like just for one day. So it all went into this base straight away. So that's all been used up into this base, because I was very low on that. So, and a lot of the metal went into the like all the resources in there. Almost everything went to the base, and they just got a little bit of resources from there. And they had to spend like let's say 15 rockets, or 8C4 whatever, to get through this. This is a lot of silver, guys. And then they had to go through all these doors to even get there, because the outside was so heavily with metal. Then they didn't have any reasons to do any other loot rooms. I mean, obviously with this why is this armored, you know? So obviously that's a loot room, but they didn't get it. I mean, they blew off the drop boxes, but they didn't get I didn't put anything in the drop boxes, so we didn't lose anything from that. And my buddy, he put those drop boxes. Luckily I had drop boxes. There's an extra really important tip. If you're using the Dropbox method like I am doing, then you have to make sure that your loot rooms have like a spare Dropbox. So why is it important? Because with the new update, it's no longer important, no longer possible to put a Dropbox from the outside to the inside. You can, yes, so you have to have a Dropbox on the inside. I mean, if all your walls are towards the outside, or I'm saying it right? Yeah, if you're inside and all the walls you see are the inside of the walls, like now with the metal, it's like kind of like this beige look, like this wooden look. Now, if you see that, then you can put a Dropbox through. But like I have one of my rooms, I had a furnace room, and I was using it just as like 5 or 6 furnaces in it, I don't know, and I was just using it as for my furnaces, and actually I didn't have a spare Dropbox in there, so I don't know what I'm gonna do about that, if I will be able to use that furnace room in the future. I mean, I wasn't using it anymore anyway, and I'm probably gonna so it's not a big problem, but that's lessons learned, right? We have to learn. That's why I make this video, so you can learn from my mistakes. So yeah, I would say like the design really works. It worked. It kept the loot safe. But yeah, make sure you have a Dropbox in every loot room, just in case they blow off the drop boxes. And maybe make them a bit further away from each other, because now they were like straight onto the path, the main path through the base, and they have them each. Actually, they even had it on like they were on the other side of each other, which is really not that smart. It could be smarter just to like either put them away from each other a bit more, or just make some space in between somehow, which I will do in my next design or my next upgrade. And further, yeah, I just hope you you enjoyed this video, and yeah, just keep up to date on me improving my design, and keep telling you about the mistakes I make. Oh yeah, another thing is like if you build a loot room, try to build it as low as possible, so that if like let's say they hit the if they hit like a floor tile that's adjacent to it, like if they would go through this floor tile, then if they would go to this floor tile, then they're pretty much into this room. If they go to this floor tile, they see the bottom of this floor tile and it's really high. So if they destroy the foundation beneath this armored room, which they did, and that was only metal, either you have to upgrade it to metal armor 2, which is going to be more costly for your base upkeep, but it would be easier to have it like flush with the floor like this. But then of course you have the foundation next to it, which you are going to walk, like where your doors are going to be, also has to be at the same level. So that's kind of like a challenge. Like it would be easiest to have like, yeah, 2 foundations at the same level that are really low, that people cannot crawl underneath. So then you don't have to, you can just upgrade it to metal and leave it metal and then do the front armored. And I think that would work for most of the, you can even do like, yeah, that would work. So try to find a way to, yeah, keep your foundation really low if that's possible. And if not, then think about like upgrading at least the foundation to armored, if you want to be really sure about them not jackhammering like the foundation in front of it and just getting easier access to that room, because then they only have to like blow out one like armored like metal foundation, you know. So yeah, that's it. That's it, I guess. I'm gonna leave it with this for now. Yeah, just keep watching my updates. I make upgrades and improvements all the time. So although I was raided, it was not a successful raid, and that's because of the sheer power of this base. So I would advise you just to try this base design out and watch my other videos. Like, subscribe, guys. Lots of love, and have a beautiful day. Bye bye.